Welcome back, cousins. I told you I was coming back. I'm always coming back. For you around here that have not subscribed, I am Betty J. Gathers, daughter of Jean Gray, and I want you to subscribe. Subscribe, like, and share. Why haven't you subscribed yet? Right down there. If I'm not really saying something that interests you or you think I can do it better, please do. I've done it before. Now I see how hard it is. Maybe I would have left them alone. So long as it's constructive criticism, I'm fine. Okay? But again, I brought back mine because I need this. I don't need no coffee. When this is over, I'm drinking this whole thing. But you get your coffee, you get your wine, you get your children settled into that playroom. I find them a book. And let's get into this third part. Hoping it's not going to be a fourth part. I was looking at all my little notes and I was like, oh, Lord, look like it's going to be 4 parts. But anyway, I'm having a good time this time because I'm really digging down deep to kind of give you a picture of what really did happen, because really we're historians. We just think I was in the first classes that was integrated in Riviera Beach, Florida. That's history. That's history making. Even the whites would tell their side, we'll tell our side, and all come the right side. So the last time I ended with kids running behind the mosquito truck spraying, talked about me not being able to go to McDonald's or Burger King. We had home cooked meals. And you know, I was even thinking, that's why we're so healthy. I said that in my other video. Just thinking we were eating all that junk then, I'd probably be dead. We're pretty healthy though. My generation, I cook quite a bit for my sons, but they did get a lot of fast food stuff. But what my mom did, because she had to work a second job sometimes, she would they came out with those frozen dinners, and they would be in those heavy 4 plates, and then you put them in the oven and cook them forever. She had no choice when she was working a second job, but I was a pretty good big girl by that time, 11, 12, something like that. But she didn't, and then we even get like a frozen pie. That was as I was older in that. But we were healthy. That's one thing I could say. Did we go to the doctor all the time? Not that I can remember. Not like how kids go now. But my mom made sure we went to the dentist. I always remembered that. We started off with Negro dentists, then we ended up with white dentists as I got older. So she knew how important that was. Like they also knew how important education was, and they were right on top of that. And I think my generation, we missed the ball on that. I think we got a little too materialistic and we got away from the schooling. But okay, let me get back to my life. Also, what we did, we were really fortunate little girls, me and my sister. We used to fly on Mackey Airlines. I don't know who bought them out. And we would go to West End, Bahamas. We would be on planes with white people. I remember that. Because I had a black baby doll. You had those walk with me big dolls. And she was like asking me, did I like my dolls? And I always remember, my sister always remembered, I said I like my black doll or Negro doll or whatever I said. But I know we did. When we did those flights, we did go with, it wasn't like segregated that I can remember. I can remember my mom always getting sick on the plane. I can remember that. And we went to West End, Bahamas because my mom's boyfriend was there. Prince Adderley was his name. His daughter's name was Lurleen. He only had that one daughter at that time that I know of. When we would get on the islands, no, we would not go to the hotels because we're segregated over there too now, okay? So whites went to the hotels and we went and stayed in the village, which was a better deal when you look back at it. It really was, because you got to really learn the culture. Because at the hotel, you're only going to get the people that clean and cook for you. So, or you go on a tour, which you never really learn anything. But in that village, of course, there was only blacks. They had a movie theater. Sometimes it would go upside down, the film or the movie show upside down. It was like in a tin building too. I don't know why 10, but it was, I can remember a tin building. We were right near the ocean, and if you walked, you would get your feet cut because there was so many conch shells on there. We ate a lot of conch salad, a lot of conch fritters over there. And also, in that village, they also, it was a lot of little houses. I don't know why they called it village, but that's what they called it. And they didn't have running water. We had to take our baths. They were warm up water in big old foot tubs. We would take our baths in those. Also, I can remember waking up in the morning time and smelling bread cooking. Oh, it smells so good. I can remember that. They also used to put fish and dry them out, and flies would just be all around them as they're drying out. I can remember that. And we did that for some years until my mom ended up changing her religion. But we did that for a long time. I don't know what happened to him, and I don't know what happened to his daughter. I'm sure if she's alive, she still think about us, because she spent a lot of time. We felt like she was our sister. So, but that was one thing we got to do. We got to learn the culture. I know island men, believe me. We'll discuss that on another video. But let's get back home. Also, my mom had left Miss Peace by that time and got her another job, which she was happy about. Who wants to clean up people's house all the time, you know? So, you remember that movie, The Help? I always think about that. I went to look at that with some white counterparts, and I just didn't like it. I don't think it was real. One thing was about that pie, what she put inside the pie. That part was true. Yep, they was spitting their food. That's what I'm saying. If you don't like somebody, why you gonna let them cook for you? That was their way of getting back. They spit in it, mix stuff up in your food, cook some glass up in there. Yeah, they did it. I'm gonna tell you, they did it. But with The Help, the only thing I found, and I read the book too, and I really didn't enjoy the book. The only reason I finished it, because I really wanted to write a review on it. But the thing that got me the most was, and I don't think it would have, in my mind, I just want to always, in my mind, and being a Negro growing up in that time, I just can't see them telling all their business to a white girl. I can't see that ever happen, because they had to hide so much stuff and they had to lie. I know it's just a book, y'all, but I'm just saying, I think I took it as reality, because you always press a button if somebody experienced something in life. But everybody else, the majority of people seem to enjoy it. I mean, that book sold very well. So, anyway, my mom ended up working for Miss Helen Wilkes at a nursing home. And she liked it. She really liked it. I think because she could make decisions and the lady listened to her. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. But however, money was still tight. Sometimes she would steal, her and my oldest sister would go out in the fields. They would catch the bus early in the morning. They would have to put on certain clothes because they would have to be out in the sun all day, and they would suckle tomatoes. I don't know what suckling is, but they would suckle tomatoes. And also they had a lot of Mexicans coming in. Even at that time, they were out on the range line is what we called it. And they will come in season and come in, and they'll have them staying just like how they do now. And they would come in at that time. And then later on, she really didn't have to do it. She would work extra shifts is what she would do. So she worked a lot of hours. Lot of hours is what she worked. But finally, yeah, she didn't have to work the second hand. She got married later on too when I was about 11 or 12, something like that. But she worked. The women worked hard. They worked hard for their families. Even if they stayed home, they still worked extra hard that I can remember for their families. And I think that's all I want to say about that part. I'm trying to look and make sure that I'm not missing anything on that part. Okay, now we're going to get into school. Drink on that one. Thank you, Z. This tastes so good. So good. She knew what I needed. In fact, she bought that to me and she had left it on my step, and I felt so special that day. I still feel special. But okay, let's get back. We're going to start talking about school. School, well, before we get to school, I talked about I went to kindergarten, which was a rarity, but it was a lot of kids in kindergarten. And I had a good time there. I can remember we used to walk at lunchtime. We would walk to like a park and eat our lunch and come back. I can remember getting spanked in my hands because I didn't get some alphabet or something up there. They didn't beat us. How people think they beat us. They didn't. Just even with our parents, it wasn't all that. Beating less people just was just like they are today, just like to beat and abuse their poor children. But after kindergarten, the main reason, like I said before, my mom sent me to kindergarten because once my older sister started school, she never went. So when she started, she cried for a long time. Poor baby. She cried for a long time. So my mom just wanted to make sure that I was prepared to go to school. So once school, first grade, and I really started at 4, because 5 in December, you could go a little younger than that, and than what it is now. I think what it's 5 you have to be, but I was 4 when I started to segregated school. So, and you know, they said that we used to get secondhand books and all that, but we learned. Our teachers were good. Priority, whatever at that time, was education, education, education. So our teachers made sure that we were educated in elementary. Another thing keep popping in my mind too is they used to come out to the school and give us out shots. And I asked the white counterpart if that happened in her school, and she said no. So what was they sticking in her arm? I know they say that this was what? It's like that spot on this side. Trying to see. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a black spot on there. But I don't know what the other stuff was, but I know, I don't know if that was smallpox or measles or something. Can't remember, but I know it was small, and all the kids were lined up, so I was crying and whatever. But I do remember white people coming out to school and doing now. Then first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth was the same thing as other schools. We had plays, we studied, we had homework. Parents were well involved. That was the secret. Parents, you know, this is going to be a 3-part, I already know. Parents were 4-parter. Parents were well involved with their children. That's why it worked. And that's why it don't work now. Kids knew. Teacher called your house. You may not want to go home. So they never had that problem. Believe me, not with me anyway, and I'm sure with most kids. They did. But I can remember walking to school because it was close. It was close. Walking to school and back. And I don't know why most of the time I'd be by myself. I couldn't figure that out. And I will know one time I tell you that's why things are different. I would be walking and be this guy, he was black, and I never get in a white car. Isn't it amazing when awful stuff happened to you, don't forget? And he used to drive by real slow. And I told my mom, and then she started coming out meeting me. So see, there were little perverts back there then. Thank God he didn't take me off. He would have had a fight on his hand with me, because I wasn't the type that's going to go down easy. But I remember that, coming home, walking back. Also, I'm going to get into junior high, and then we're going to stop there, because it was still segregated. And we had to learn how to swim. Most of the time we already knew, because we were surrounded by water. We had these gold bathing suits our parents had to buy. And then our workout gym clothes was this white, ugly, fluffy one piece that our parents had to buy for gym. So we did different things, because once I got integrated, we were jumping on the trampoline. I'm like, we ain't doing no trampoline now. We ain't doing no trampoline. But junior high was from 6th to 8th grade, because 8th grade was high school. But we were still, everything was still segregated. Everything was, still the norm. We had, because we didn't get into parades till high school, is what it was. But those used to be nice. Oh my goodness. Oh, parades, Negro parades, that's dancing in the street. That is dancing in the streets. They would march for a certain, and we always know the place where we call it, they're going to break down and dance. And it would be on dusty streets too, because you remember, we still having these dusty roads. And we were in the city, we weren't even in the country. But they would get to a certain point, they would dance their honey off. I know it was one girl, she was kind of heavy set, Lions, I can't think of the other name. But oh my goodness, she used to twirl that baton, and ain't all else she twirled. My mom was a majorette too. She even got a medal in it. She sure did. See how that brings back all that stuff that you forget on that end? But I'm looking at this timing, because I don't want to make it this long. I think this is a good time to cut this off, because I'm going to make one more, and that's when we get into integration. And then that's going to, take the most time. And I really want to do that one right, because I did soft pedal through it, because it really wasn't a good time. I'm not, and I wasn't lying then. It's just I wanted to soft pedal. And I think because I wasn't sure what I was on, I don't know. But I'm not going to soft pedal it. I'm going to tell the truth, the whole truth. So help me God. I'm going to tell it. But I'm so glad that you came back for part 3. And I hope I'm keeping this interesting, because the next part is going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. I'm going to tell you about them hollering, screaming people. I'm going to tell you about the nasty teachers, how they treated us. That's what I'm going to do. We were separate. There ain't much difference today. Sad to say. See what y'all did to me again? I am Betty J Gathers. Gonna come back with part 4. Please subscribe, like, and share, and tell all your friends. They'll like me. me. I was a doula. I'm soft-hearted. I'm kind. Okay. But again, please come on back and join me on that next part. It's going to be good. Okay. You have a great day, night, or whatever.